So I just want to thank you guys again for joining. Please forgive the quality of my voice. I am getting over a 2-week cold. I want to thank you guys for joining the second episode of trying to play philosophy with gaming. Hopefully it'll be a little bit more structured, but I doubt it. So the focus of today's episode, as I game and slaughter my foes, is we're going to be talking about ethical technology, which is something pretty close to my heart. A little bit about my background. When I came out to the Middle East, working in the Negev, I came up with what is called a static atmospheric water generator or harvester. And what it does is, without an electric current to make it cold or to exchange chemicals, it just, through glass, through a sort of, and different forms of plastic, creates a sort of fog. This was my first venture into ethical technology. Now, that actually, through trying to that also led to the botanical garden that I set up, more like botanical farm out in the Negev to prove it's a proof of concept to see if you could create a sort of farm just on the go in the desert, like in deep desert, natural. And it worked for about 2 years. Eventually migrated everything down to a lot, and they're building a food forest with the supplies, and it's a pretty cool project. Now that actually led to me getting into AI when I met a who would become one of my business partners, a company we set up that did motion prediction to mitigate drowning events. So the goal was essentially to I can show you guys. Basically, if it takes 30 seconds for a lifeguard to respond to an event, we oh, am I gonna get it? Am I gonna get it? Am I gonna get it? We wanted to get that down to about 5 seconds. We wanted to really reduce downtime, and that would allow more people to survive. I got him. I didn't even get hurt. Ooh, that was good. Okay, so that project completed, and I also did some work in cybersecurity with anomaly detection. This technology was to safeguard analog assets, which was pretty cool because their AI could predict drowning in ocean, which was pretty intense. Like it's like true what you would call randomness, and they could do it through the PLC, which is crazy. Honestly, what AI can do is it's incredible. So there's that aspect of it. But while I was working with SiteFit, I was looking for sort of feedback on what we were building. So I reached out to Noam Chomsky. So my job as a business developer kind of requires me to reach out to people, usually CEOs, but that sort of means that if I want to talk to someone, I'm going to find a way to do so. And he got back to us, and we got some cool conversations on like in the last video with, like I mentioned, determinism. I was trying to get his feedback on it to, well, sort of like an endorsement. I think he was wise to it also, so he didn't quite give the endorsement. But he said our technology, when we were in the design stages, was very feasible and doable, and in theory, we could reach that mitigation of downtime. What I was really reaching for was him to sort of put a label on it that, in his opinion, it was ethical technology. So now to get into what I mean by that, ethical technology to me is, well, when you don't die is one. It's technology that won't hurt anyone. When it collects, like, okay, let's take an AI. Like our AI was with Johnny Prevention Company. Our AI, whatever data it collected, was oriented not to like store private data or anything like that. It was just to mitigate and whoop, I can do this. It was solely to try to help people stop from drowning. We didn't care what color their skin was or background, creed, or really, well, okay, we cared about the background literally in the sense of the environment that we had designed it for, but we didn't care about who the person was. And because it was only trying to actually keep people from, dying, I would argue that's in the most basic definition of only being beneficial, especially because we didn't do any kind of data storage where we'd like retain this for later use, so to speak. I would say that's ethical and qualifies. So when we're talking about this kind of technology, or actually, honestly, just technology in general, because usually it's going to be the case that in some way, shape, or form, technology could be used to hurt others somehow. Even the most innocuous technology can end up becoming something that's radically dangerous. So, and when we're designing it, we sort of have to ask ourselves what the end case could actually end up being as a result of that development. Like if we make motion prediction that's for gun prevention, well, that's great. But what if it can be used to say like hunt targets for drones? Or maybe that's not so great. Maybe it's and that would definitely not be ethical since that technology would be used to harm others. That's sort of sometimes when you're trying to define technology as ethical, it's not always clear. So you sort of have to define the opposite: unethical technology. And I would say it's any technology that has a well, I would argue it has to be deliberate, but it's probably the case that even incidental technology that's used in ways that can harm others is also it's not ethical technology. If it, in my opinion, if it can be manipulated in a way that I'm not sure you can call it ethical technology, it has to be, even when it's manipulated at its worst. Then you get into the problem of what about technology where it's designed with the intent, like for drowning prevention? What about the lifeguard that decides to use it to kill someone by like ignoring the warnings or manipulating the algorithm? So it's sort of, in my opinion, that's why there has to be the specific intent for it to cause harm. Without that, it's sort of, oh, honestly, humans can turn anything into a weapon. I want to live. I want to live. Oh, what is that? What was that? I'm gonna lose. So it's sort of like to me, even if you could manipulate technology into being something that it's was originally geared for, I do think it needs to actually have the intent of the designers to cause harm, or at least cause harm. So with ethical technology, the goal would be ideally something that's beneficial. But I think there's something to be said for even benign technology. Like take the wheel. That's I would argue that's ethical since it's sort of working in a ooh, that was nice, in a logistics sense, trying to make the world better by saving time for people. Who knows how many years of time have been saved by people just because they use wheels as opposed to give me that attack power. Sorry, yeah, beeps are from my work. So these days, when I apply for jobs, when I say that I focus on ethical technology, it's technology that's going to be used to usually protect others. So cybersecurity is kind of an easy one since usually you can't manipulate it backwards to harm others, unless I don't know you yourself are essentially hacking the company you're working for, and that's some crap if you're doing that. No. So, like for example, these days I'm working with AI that do transaction with blockchain to verify the software to make sure it's secure so people don't lose. Oh, so much money. People are losing so much money in these things. All because someone had an image overflow on one contract. Come here, you. I want to kill you. Oh, didn't work. Loving that boom. And my hope is to also design technology. One of the one of the technologies I would like to develop down the road is sort of a AI that can assist in business making decisions. Less so that people can do like a sort of corporate powerful takeover, but more so to assist in decision making. It would be neat if all the software that we interacted with could in some way, given it's all kind of integrated together, well, that it could connect and actually assist into the business making process. Sucks when you got to make like these deals and stuff, and like you second guess yourself.
Double kill.
I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
An ally has been slain. Shut down.
We seem to be kind of stuck, don't we? So one of my concerns when it comes to ethical technology, especially with stuff like with data collection, is
Shut down.
it might be that
Your turret has been destroyed.
the technology itself isn't bad, but how it's being managed is. So, like for example, the data collection for ads isn't
Has been
itself nefarious,
slain.
but when it's sold and bought for between companies or people who never even subscribed to the original service, possibly, uh, I would say that that's parasitic.
You have been slain.
Wow. And no, hmm. Yes, that I need cooldown for faster, actionable responses. That's actually a pretty a technology I do think is ethical, though. Data insights.
An enemy has been slain.
So one of the things that's funny about anomaly detection with like the cybersecurity and the like,
Ally has been slain.
ah,
An enemy has been slain.
usually it's so sensitive that am I about to get nuked? Yeah,
Been slain.
son of a, you die, Snake. I got a comment. Uh, that was worth it. So usually with anomaly detection, it's so sensitive that it can often give you the data insight. When data insight technology is applied solely to benefit a company or an individual, I, I would classify that as beneficial. The definition is kind of simple because I don't know if it's because so much technology is oriented toward taking advantage of others or harming, but it's pretty clear cut when you see the ones that aren't hurting anyone. They go boom. Oh,
An enemy has been slain. You have been slain.
I wonder,
Shut
is League of
down.
Legends ethical gaming?
Ace.
Ethical technology? I don't
An enemy
think
has been
so
slain.
because the software is oriented to take money. So that can't be good. That's parasitic. Then you got the game itself using the software bits to kill each other. So that can't be ethical. Like how I told people not to message me, and they always message me anyways. Okay. WhatsApp ethical? I actually think WhatsApp would be considered ethical technology. Here's why: it only protects. It's what it's designed to do. Its basic technology functionality is to encrypt. Now, is it
Has been
used for sex trafficking and stuff? Yeah, unfortunately. Technology can always be abused, but I still don't think that the technology itself should be considered unethical solely. Wow,
Ace.
that ain't good. Oh, they all want to
Ally
quit.
has been
I
slain.
say no, we can do it.
Your turret has been destroyed. Defeat.
Good game, well played. Well, suppose that's sort of my commentary on ethical technology. Uh, I hope that you get a little bit out of this that when you design technology, you have to sort of think about what can happen with it ultimately, and you have to sort of understand that it could be abused. Now, you can safeguard against that. Like with the Unethical Technology, they can get around people's concerns of storing data by just not storing data. Dumping the data every day, fed to the AI and refreshing it, just keeping the bare algorithms well trained, not data related to the targets themselves. So, just want to thank you guys for watching. Oh, I gotta see. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope you guys have a great luck designing ethical technology.